Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Last night, millions around the world would have engaged in Garbha. What Garbha means is that the micro, like Vivek, knows that they are part of the macro. That is the Divine Mother. And that's why she's in the center. That's why we move around her. We move, the changing. She doesn't move, the unchanging. I'm asking all of those who participate in Garbha, do you know this? Do you feel this? In Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th section, the 31st chapter, is known as the breath of the heart of Srimad Bhagavatam. In this chapter, it's called Gopi Gita. The gopis, who are seekers, advanced seekers, they share with Sri Krishna, we don't just depend on you with our words or our actions, we depend on you with our lives. We cannot live without you. In chapter 32, Sri Krishna manifests for them. He comes from their hearts and manifests for their eyes. This chapter symbolizes freedom or moksha. And then in chapter 33, a popular chapter on the Rasa Leela, where once again, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of dancing. What this symbolizes is when one feels Sri Krishna in their heart, then their whole life becomes a song and dance. Not for anyone. It is a natural expression. Chapter 33 symbolizes bhakti. That higher than freedom is expressing that freedom, which is bhakti. I again ask those who are investing resources, time, and effort in engaging in garbhas, in administrating garbhas, do you know this? Do you feel this? These are sadhanas or disciplines. Those who I'm asking are probably sleeping right now. You are not the all. You are like the gopis, seekers, advanced seekers. For us, Navaratri is not an event. Starts on a Tuesday, ends on a Wednesday. For us, Navaratri is a movement. Not externally, but internally. That we have changed, that we will continue to change. The upcoming verse will emphasize that a lot. We remember that we are the micro. We remember that we are the gopis. In a recent Upanishad course class, I was sharing with everyone what it means to withdraw. Withdrawing means you shift from the grosser to the subtler. We also learned about this when we explored dhyana yoga. We explored contemplation, and I had shared you have to withdraw your identification with the body, which is grosser, and instead identify with the breath, which is subtler. From the breath to the mind. You all remember this, yes? I just talked about how we remember dhyana yoga. What year did we study this in? Giving you some more examples about this withdrawing, this shifting from the grosser to the subtler. The wave is gross, the water is subtle. The ornament is gross, the ore from which that ornament came is subtle. The most expansive example is the existing, like the trees, the deck, my shirt, is gross. The existence is subtle. Now, to shift from the gross to the subtle, what do you have to do? You don't have to do anything. You simply have to know. Beyond the existing is existence. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a map in jnana, in knowing, for those who are knowing more and more and more. We are going beyond pettiness. That is what is shared in the previous verse. The pettiness of our differences. We're going past that to the subtler is the presence that is in you, that is in me, that is in all. Sarva sama is the same. Are you ever petty with yourself? Probably not. It would be hard to. Are you ever not petty with others? Completing verse 29 and then shifting to a lovely verse. If you remember previously, and you do remember this because we were confused by this, Shri Krishna shared, te mai, which means they are in me. In the next quarter, he says, na aham teshu. They are in me, I am not in them. Do you remember that period of Bhagavad Gita? Okay. Now we fast forward to verse 29. He shares again, te mai, which means they are in me, but now he's sharing aham teshu, I am in them. So I think Shri Krishna is getting tired. He can't keep track of what he's trying to teach right now. What this shows, Shri Krishna is training us in knowing that which is beyond. What is beyond? Beyond is beyond concepts like they and me, you and I, separation. That's what he's training us in. They are in me. I am in them. There is only oneness. And sharing the final reflective thought on this. They are in me means the thoughts depend on awareness. And when one knows that, then I am in them. With every thought we have, what are we knowing? What are we feeling? The awareness. I hope you all know that Sri Krishna left the gopis. Physically, he left them, but they knew, they felt, the gopis are the thoughts, Sri Krishna is the awareness. They knew, they felt that he is in them. Verse 30. Whenever you're feeling negative, dejected, this is your verse. So really, this is our verse. Api chetsu duracharaha bhajate mamananya bhak sadureva samantavyaha samya vyavasito hi saha. Api, even. Chet, if. Acharaha. Tell me in English what acharaha means. Those who are newer, they're running to their kitchen. This mango achar. Behavior, customs, character, yes. Then the prefix du, which means negative character. And there's another prefix, su, which means very. So not a bad person, but a wicked person. I'm not saying wicked like 2022 wicked. I'm saying wicked like 1900 wicked. The one who is vicious. Shri Krishna is trying to relate to those who feel that they are vicious. As I say that to all of you right now, it may be unrelatable, but recently in one of our parenting culture spaces, a seeker was asking about how do you overcome parenting guilt? And we can all relate to this, and Sri Krishna is sharing that even that guilt that comes with caring for someone who is younger, there is more. I think of my own life. Who I was in high school became more extreme in terms of college, became more extreme when I was a professional. And then living in the ashram and post-ashram, like and this is a gross example, like a Hiranyakashipu who's trying to be Prahlada. So, su, du, achara, I can definitely relate to that. If bhajate, they sing, they seek, ananya bhak, exclusively about me. They sing about me. That's how they're introduced to me. But then they seek me. They're thinking about that type of life didn't work. So let me explore this type of life. Being Hiranyakashipu didn't work. One was always insecure. Maybe I should try being like Prahlada, who was ever secure. Ananya Bhak, Mam, Shri Krishna, the icon of virtues, Shri Krishna, the one who is virtuous. How many of you can identify with sometimes feeling like you are vicious? How many of you are trying to grow out of that viciousness. This is what you should be called now. Your families call you one thing, your CEOs call you one thing. This is what Sri Krishna says you should be called. The third quarter, please, please, please remember this. Mantavyaha, one should think about themselves. Others should describe them as this. Sa, that means you, eva, are alone, sadhu. You should start to feel you are a sadhu. If you start to feel it, others may start to feel that about you, but even if they don't, not important. The beginning way to understand what it means to be a sadhu, it is one who is noble. Now that's another loaded word. Who is one who is noble? The one who is inclusive. They don't live in an exclusive way with any experience. They've gone past pettiness, likes and dislikes, differences. Now, the more deep reflection on sadhu. This comes from the Ramayana. A sadhu is like cotton. I think this is cotton. I have no idea. If I reflect on or get into reverse engineering on this shirt, that cotton which grew on a tree had to be plucked, pulled, stretched, beaten, dyed, cut. I don't know if I said that already. Sewed. It had to be tortured. What for? To protect me. To cover my weaknesses. That's what a sadhu does. They don't just sing and seek, they serve. They do God's work. And once they're established in this, they surrender. They don't even feel like they're doing God's work. There's only God, not even God's work. Saha, you, he, indeed. Vyavasitaha, resolve, samyak, in this right way. Promise yourself, challenge yourself that you will try to be a sadhu. From inspiration to application. Your application was to feel fresh today, to forgive yourself. Here, Sri Krishna has affirmed that. For those who are newer, I didn't write Bhagavad Gita. Please don't think this is my original thought. This is the divine's direct offering to us. This week, one of the rads that was posted was, exhale the past, inhale the future. Here is your application for this morning. I want you to exercise your willpower over a small bad habit you have. You have many to choose from. I know you. Pick one small bad habit and you exercise your willpower over that small bad habit. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be a sadhu, be joy.